We like our cars quick, reliable and cheap, but this Fiesta was none of those things.
We bought this 1 litre Fiesta EcoBoost, or EcoBang as it's also known, for £700. That's because it has one massive issue.
Most likely the Fiesta's wet belt has failed, which has turned a nice, reliable running car into a red, expensive paperweight.
So Stuart, for those who don't know, what is a wet belt?
A wet belt is a timing belt, but instead of running externally on the engine, it runs internally with the oil itself. Meaning if you use the wrong grade oil, it can be disastrous for your engine. Essentially, using the wrong grade oil can actually cause the belt to deteriorate and break away, meaning you have bits of rubber flying around your engine, usually coming to rest in the oil pickup, causing oil pressure issues and eventually...
We've got the car up on axle stands.
This engine has to come out.
Considering this engine's blew up, that oil looks kind of clean.
That oil looks brand new. It actually looks like somebody's drained manky oil out and just shoved this into the car. That's how clean that is. Doesn't smell burnt. Normally you get a smell like plastic and meltedness, but nothing. But ain't got no coolant. Well, it's got a very, very little. It's well below minimum. We'll keep investigating, but yeah, engine's definitely coming out. First of all, I removed the wheels and the arch liners so I could remove the front bumper.
Meanwhile, I started to remove the intake system and battery tray. See, 90% of our nights here is Stuart taking the cars to bits and then teaching me how to do it. And being true to that, Stuart showed me an easy way to remove these stubborn plastic screws.
With all that done, the front bumper was now free to be removed. Followed by the headlights. And just like that, we'd already made a massive difference to the Fiesta.
With everything off, we could get to work removing the front slam panel. It's not 12 either.
The 13!
Right!
It's 12 on Fords.
It's a 10.
That bolt's a 13.
13?
Mm-hmm.
I can only assume the other side's
Probably 13.
13.
So. Mm-hmm.
I got wet.
Stuart has a habit of every time he's draining fluids on a car, he just absolutely gets soaking wet. I got it.
Good baby.
I got it.
I'm your Venus.
I'm your fire.
You're my desire.
What?
So we've just got 2 bolts to take out and then the entire front slam panel is going to come off. Stuart, are you feeling strong, mate?
Yes, buddy.
There you go.
Right. There's one more thing we've got to do I forgot about.
Mm-hmm.
The bonus get faulted.
Oh, right, okay.
Hey.
In hindsight, we probably should have taken the bonnet off first to get it out the way, because now there's no stand. But we'll do that now. We quickly got the bonnet out the road and made a couple of confusing discoveries about the history of our Fiesta.
Really?
Yes.
This oil filter is new as the exhaust.
What?
Look. That's brand spanking new. Brand spanking new. Stuff.
So Stuart discovered earlier when he was under the car that this car has a brand new exhaust.
Brand spanking. There's no dirt on it. There's no rust. There's nothing.
And it looks like when the exhaust got done, it also got a service because the oil filter is also brand new.
And so is the oil.
And so is the oil. So something weird going on with this car.
I wonder if they drained the coolant, didn't put coolant in it.
Do you think?
I don't know. We'll see. It's full. It's like at maximum.
But there was no coolant in it.
But it was a garage. So if they've drained the coolant and then went, you know what, it's too much work. Fling the battery just up there and just hold the leads on it for 2 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
You only get electrocuted much, it's fine.
Go for it. Nah. It's like that. So what do we think, Stuart?
Not sure, there's a couple of theories so far. So it could be hydrolocked. We don't know the actual scenario, what happened here. It's got oil in it, so I would doubt it's seized. It could have did the belt.
When we turned it over, the crank pulley, it didn't spin, it went
Yeah. I don't know. We need to do a bit more investigating, but...
I think regardless, this has to come out.
Oh yeah, the engine's definitely coming out. 100% this is coming out.
So we'll find out more when the engine comes out.
Yeah. Once the engine's off, we'll get the oil drained, we'll get the oil filter out, and then we'll also turn the engine over by hand and just see what's going on.
So we're taking the air filter top off because we've got a potential theory that the engine's hydro-locked because it's went through a huge puddle. So if we take this off and it's soaking, then it's probably hydro-locked. Well, it's dry. It's brand new. But it is wet in there. It's wet in there. But it's no soaking. The filter's dry. But it's also been sitting out there for a month. Yeah. And I don't know how long ago this blew up.
With none of the theories really adding up, we quickly got to work on removing the engine.
So Stuart's removing the torque?
Stuart's removing the torque, man.
Big bolt from torque out?
It's the big bolt that's torque, man.
The big bolt.
The big bolt's
The big bolt.
Ray, do you want to get the shocks off the hubs?
Sure.
Just so we can then pull the drive shafts through the hubs. Sure. After I disconnected everything from the engine and Ray had finished with the suspension, I could knock out the drive shafts.
The engine was now ready to be removed. We got the engine crane in place and strapped up the engine.
With the engine being supported by the crane, I removed the final two engine mounts and we carefully navigated it out of the bay.
With the engine out of the car, we could finally try and figure out exactly what had happened.
I wouldn't film this, this is a bit chunky. I want to isolate everything that's not the crank. We tried to turn the engine over by force, but little did we know exactly what we're about to find. It's quite hard. Yeah. Okay.
What is it they say on that other channel? Engine very bad.
There you go. There you go.
Yeah, put it.
There we go. Ooh! You got oil. I think when its tyre belt has failed, the wet belt, it's pulled the crank and it's damaged the crank seal, and then the oil is then come into the gearbox side. So what I'm going to do is take off this pressure plate, take off the friction plate, and take off the flywheel and see what we've got. Beautiful! That is oil.
Oh my god! You got your torch.
I do not think we'll be fixing that. Oh, I'm torching my pocket. Let's see.
You got it. There is a massive crack. What is that? Just in the block?
Yeah, that's the block.
And there's just a massive, massive crack. Wow. That's like from there to there.
No, it's from there down to the other side. It's blue.
Oh, so it is?
The full thing.
Wow. So it's basically tried to blow the gearbox off.
Well, I'm going to guess why the rods is bent.
Right.
Oh, it's hydro-locked. And yeah, well, that's the problem. That's not getting fixed.
I think we'll be getting a new engine.
Yeah, we definitely need the engine.
Yeah.
But with the slip it in the photo.
Yeah. We found it.
Yeah, I know the cars.
Wow. Well, we definitely found the problem, but to see the full extent of the damage, we removed this plate, and although things couldn't really get any worse, they certainly weren't looking any better.
I think we found the problem.
Yeah, I think. Wow.
That they are not meant to happen.
Yeah, that's supposed to be inside the engine. Jeez, take a picture of that.
That'll be a good thumbnail.
Yeah.
It's probably came loose because it stretched the whole casting on this here and it broke. It's probably stretched the aluminium around the threads. But you still shouldn't have to be able to undo end cap bolts with your fingers. Oh, that side's tight. That side was not.
Boom.
Everyone wants some Fiesta parts.
Well, Stuart, pretty productive night.
Really productive.
We got the engine at the car.
Engine's out. We
Diagnosed
have,
it.
Definitely diagnosed the problem.
That's an issue.
That's not meant to be there.
Stuart, how does that even happen?
Well, it looks like the crank is snapped. The rod's not bent, so I don't know if he's maybe ingested water and hydro the engine, weakest point, crank, unknown why. But there's no debris in the actual oil pan or nothing. But
Yeah,
there's
it's
a big
been
hole.
pretty clean break for
Yeah.
things, but pretty
Catastrophic.
impressive.
Once we get a replacement engine,
Yep.
and we got all the ancillaries taken. I don't want to strip this because
It'll be easier if we get a bare engine, we can just replicate
it could be a
everything.
few weeks before we get an engine. If I take all this off, it'll just be a nightmare putting all that together. So we'll keep it assembled. We'll get another engine. Hopefully it comes with everything. If not, we'll move it all over. And then when we get some time, we'll strip this engine and see exactly what has went wrong with it. We took off the inlet manifold. All the valves are still intact. They all look fine. There's no damage. Even the bottom of the piston looks fine.
Yeah.
And the rod looks fine. But we will get the sump off, we'll get the cradle out, we'll have a good look at the crank and see what the actual cause was.
Yeah. But yeah, it's
Impressive.
Quite, yeah, impressively bad.
That'd have been fun when that happened. Watch out for our next episode of Fiesta. We'll hopefully get it running again.
Make sure you subscribe and click that bell so you know exactly when that video comes.